Welcome to a moment that could change the course of your life. Today we'll uncover the strategies and mindset shifts that high achievers use to break through barriers and create lasting success. This is more than just a motivational speech, it's your opportunity to step into the best version of yourself. Let's begin. When someone dismisses your emotions, it's not just a casual remark, it's a reflection of how they perceive your worth. Words like "you're overreacting" carry a hidden message telling you that your feelings are not important. But your emotions are the essence of who you are. They're the guideposts to what matters most to you. When a man brushes them aside, it's a sign that he either doesn't understand or doesn't care enough to honor your experiences. No one should have the power to make you question your reality. Trust what you feel, because your feelings are valid, real, and deserving of acknowledgement. Walking away from someone who disregards your emotions is not just a choice, it's an act of self-love. Accountability in a relationship is non-negotiable. When a man constantly says, "I didn't mean it that way," it might seem harmless at first, but over time, it erodes trust. These words can become a shield, protecting him from taking responsibility for his actions. A healthy connection requires both partners to own their mistakes, learn from them, and make changes. If he refuses to do this, you're left carrying the emotional burden of the relationship alone. You deserve a partner who stands by his word, who acknowledges his missteps, and who values the bond you share enough to grow with you. Without accountability, there's no foundation for trust, and without trust, love cannot flourish. Words that attack your sense of self are among the most dangerous. When a man says no one else would put up with you, he's planting seeds of doubt, making you question your worth. These words are not just hurtful, they're calculated. They're designed to make you feel small, dependent, and trapped. But the truth is, your value does not depend on his opinion of you. You are worthy of love, respect, and admiration simply because you exist. A man who truly loves you will never try to make you feel less than. He will lift you up, reminding you of your brilliance and beauty, even in your darkest moments. If someone tries to convince you that you're unworthy, it's time to walk away and rediscover the incredible person you are. Love should never come with strings attached. When a man says, "If you really loved me, you would," it's not an expression of affection, it's a manipulation. True love doesn't ask you to compromise your values, your dreams, or your boundaries. It doesn't force you to prove yourself through sacrifices that leave you feeling empty. Real love is selfless, supportive, and kind. It builds you up instead of breaking you down. When someone uses love as a bargaining chip, they're not giving you love, they're trying to control you. And love that controls is not love at all. Never allow anyone to make you feel that your love needs to be earned through actions that diminish your sense of self. When a man says, "You'll never find anyone like me," it might sound confident, but it's actually a sign of insecurity. These words are a desperate attempt to make you believe he's your only option, that you're somehow incapable of finding love elsewhere. But this is far from the truth. You are a person of infinite possibilities, and the world is filled with people who would cherish you for exactly who you are. Never let fear keep you in a place where you're undervalued. When someone tries to limit your belief in your ability to find happiness, they're showing you that they fear losing control over you. You are not someone to be controlled. You are someone to be adored, respected, and celebrated. When you hear any of these phrases, it's a moment to pause and reflect. Words have the power to reveal hidden truths about a person's character and intentions. They show you how he views you, the relationship, and even himself. If these words appear frequently, they're not just mistakes, they're patterns. And patterns, once identified, give you the clarity to decide what you deserve. Your happiness is your responsibility. Your peace of mind is your priority. When someone's words begin to strip away at either, you owe it to yourself to choose better. Walking away isn't a sign of weakness, it's the ultimate act of strength. When someone avoids taking responsibility for their actions, it creates cracks in the foundation of any relationship. Words like "I didn't mean it that way" may seem harmless at first, but over time they start to wear you down. These words become a way to shift blame, leaving you to carry the emotional weight of misunderstandings, hurt feelings, or unresolved conflicts. A relationship without accountability is like a house built on sand. It cannot stand the test of time. You deserve someone who doesn't hide behind excuses, someone who owns their words and actions, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient. When a person deflects responsibility, it's often an indication of deeper issues, such as a fear of vulnerability or an unwillingness to grow. But you cannot build a meaningful connection with someone who refuses to acknowledge their part in disagreements or mistakes. Real partnership requires both individuals to face challenges together, to learn from missteps, and to work toward a stronger bond. If someone is constantly dodging accountability, it's a sign they're not ready for the level of depth and honesty that a healthy relationship demands. You might find yourself constantly explaining why certain words or actions hurt you, only to be met with dismissive responses or half-hearted apologies. Over time, this dynamic can leave you feeling unheard and undervalued. It's exhausting to repeatedly fight for recognition of your feelings. You deserve someone who listens, who understands, and who makes an effort to avoid repeating the same mistakes. Accountability isn't just about saying "I'm sorry." It's about showing through actions that they are committed to being better for you and for the relationship. When someone refuses to take responsibility, it can also create a power imbalance. You may begin to feel like you're the only one trying to keep things together, constantly apologizing, compromising, or making up for their lack of effort. This imbalance can erode your sense of self-worth, making you question whether your expectations are too high or your needs too demanding. But the truth is, your desire for accountability is not only valid, it's essential. A healthy partnership is built on mutual respect and shared responsibility. Anything less will leave you feeling depleted and unfulfilled. It's important to recognize the subtle ways someone might avoid accountability. They might downplay their actions, shift the blame onto you, or insist that you're being overly sensitive. Over time, these patterns can make you doubt yourself, leaving you unsure whether your concerns are justified. But deep down, you know when something doesn't feel right. Trust that instinct. If someone isn't willing to take responsibility for how their words or actions impact you, they are showing you a lack of respect for your emotions and your experience. Walking away from someone who refuses to be accountable can feel difficult, especially if you've invested time, energy, and love into the relationship. But staying in a situation where accountability is missing will only lead to more heartache. You cannot force someone to take responsibility if they are unwilling to do so. What you can do, however, is set boundaries and prioritize your own emotional well-being. Walking away is not about giving up, it's about choosing yourself and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. When accountability is present in a relationship, it creates a space where trust can thrive. Both partners feel safe to express themselves, knowing that their thoughts and feelings will be respected. Misunderstandings and conflicts are approached with a sense of openness and a willingness to learn from each other. This kind of dynamic strengthens the bond between two people, creating a foundation that can weather any storm. But when accountability is absent, the opposite happens. Misunderstandings turn into ongoing arguments, trust begins to fade, and emotional connection weakens. Over time, the lack of accountability becomes a barrier that prevents true intimacy and growth. If you've ever found yourself in a relationship where you feel like you're walking on eggshells, constantly trying to avoid conflict or criticism, it's likely that accountability was missing. You deserve more than a relationship filled with excuses, dismissals, and deflections. You deserve someone who is willing to own their mistakes, who values your feelings, and who works to build a strong, healthy connection. When someone refuses to take accountability, they are showing you that they are not ready for the kind of love and respect you bring to the table. Letting go of such a person is not a loss. It's a step toward finding someone who truly values you and the relationship you share. Choose relationships where accountability is a priority. Choose a partner who doesn't shy away from difficult conversations or personal growth. Your time, energy, and love are precious, and they deserve to be invested in someone who sees your worth and matches your effort. Walking away from someone who refuses to be accountable is one of the most empowering decisions you can make for yourself. It's a choice to honor your own value, to protect your peace, and to open the door to a relationship that truly fulfills you. When someone tells you no one else would put up with you, it is more than just a hurtful remark, it's an attempt to manipulate your sense of self-worth. These words are designed to create doubt, to make you question your value, and to make you feel like you should stay in the relationship out of fear that no one else will ever want you. But the truth is, your worth does not depend on their opinion. You are not defined by someone else's perception of you, and you should never allow anyone to convince you that you are not deserving of love, respect, and happiness. When someone speaks to you in this way, it's a reflection of their own insecurities. It shows that they fear losing control over you and feel the need to undermine your confidence in order to keep you tethered to them. This kind of behavior is not love, it's manipulation. True love never requires you to feel small, inadequate, or dependent. A person who genuinely loves you will build you up, not tear you down. They will celebrate your strengths and support you in overcoming your challenges, rather than using your vulnerabilities as a weapon against you. Hearing words like "no one else will put up with you" can be deeply damaging over time. It can make you start to believe that you're difficult to love, that your flaws outweigh your strengths, and that you should be grateful for the relationship you have, no matter how unhealthy it might be. But none of that is true. Everyone has imperfections, but those imperfections don't make you unlovable, they make you human. You are worthy of love that embraces you fully, flaws and all. You don't have to settle for someone who tries to convince you otherwise. Sometimes you might find yourself clinging to these relationships because you've started to believe the lies. You might think, what if they're right? What if no one else will love me the way they do? But ask yourself, what kind of love is it if it's rooted in control, fear, and manipulation? Real love doesn't require you to question your worth. Real love makes you feel safe, valued, and cherished. It lifts you up even on your worst days. It doesn't make you feel like you're not good enough or that you have to earn affection through sacrifice. When someone uses words like these, it's important to recognize them for what they are, a tactic to keep you from leaving. They want you to feel as though they are your only option, as though walking away would be a mistake. But walking away from someone who doesn't see your value is never a mistake. It's a step toward reclaiming your power and your self-respect. You don't need to settle for less than you deserve just because someone has convinced you that you're not worth more. You are worth so much more than that. Your self-worth is not negotiable. It is not something that someone else gets to determine. It's something that comes from within you, from knowing who you are and what you bring to the table. When you truly understand your value, you won't tolerate being treated as though you're less than. You won't let someone else's words define you or dictate what you deserve. You'll stand firm in the knowledge that you are enough, just as you are, and that you deserve to be loved and respected for the person you are today. Choosing to walk away from someone who doesn't value you isn't easy, especially if you've invested time and emotion into the relationship. But staying with someone who consistently undermines your confidence is far more damaging in the long run. You deserve to be with someone who sees your worth and treats you accordingly. You deserve to be in a relationship where you are loved, respected, and appreciated for all that you are. You don't have to settle for someone who makes you feel like you're hard to love, or that you're lucky just to have them. Walking away is not about giving up, it's about choosing yourself. It's about recognizing that your happiness, your peace, and your self-respect matter. It's about refusing to let someone else dictate how you see yourself. When you walk away from someone who doesn't value you, you're sending a powerful message that you know your worth and that you won't accept anything less than the love and respect you deserve. You're choosing to honor yourself, to protect your heart, and to make room for a relationship that truly fulfills you. You are not hard to love. You are not too much. You are not unworthy. You are a person of immense value, and anyone who fails to see that is not someone you need in your life. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Trust in your worth and never settle for less than what you deserve. Love that comes with conditions is not love at all, it's a transaction. When someone says things like, "If you don't do this, I'll leave," or "I'd love you more if you changed," they're not offering love, they're offering control. These words may seem subtle, but they carry the weight of manipulation, planting seeds of self-doubt and insecurity. Love should never make you feel like you have to constantly prove your worth or earn affection. True love accepts you for who you are, not for what you can do to meet someone else's standards. Conditional love creates a toxic dynamic where you feel like you're always walking on eggshells, trying to avoid displeasing your partner. You begin to second-guess your choices, suppress your opinions, and compromise your identity just to keep the peace. This is not love, it's emotional imprisonment. When someone ties their love to your actions, appearance, or decisions, it erodes your self-esteem and replaces it with a constant fear of rejection. You deserve better than that. You deserve love that nurtures the soul and allows you to thrive as your authentic self. Sometimes, conditional love disguises itself as a care or concern. They might say, "I just want what's best for you," but their actions suggest they're trying to mold you into a version of yourself that suits them. They'll criticize your choices, undermine your confidence, and make you feel like you're not good enough unless you change. But real love doesn't demand change. It inspires growth. It encourages you to be the best version of yourself without forcing you to sacrifice your essence. You should never have to choose between being loved and being yourself. When someone places conditions on their love, it creates an imbalance of power. They hold their affection over your head like a prize you must earn, and you find yourself doing whatever it takes to avoid losing it. Over time, this dynamic can make you feel small, helpless, and dependent. It's a slow erosion of your autonomy, your confidence, and your happiness. Love should not feel like a battle or a test. It should feel like a safe space where you can be vulnerable, supported, and celebrated for who you are. You might convince yourself to stay, thinking maybe if I try harder, they'll stop putting conditions on their love. But the truth is, no matter how much you give, it will never be enough for someone who is unwilling to love unconditionally. Their demands will keep growing and you'll keep shrinking, losing pieces of yourself in the process. Love should not require you to break yourself into smaller parts just to fit someone else's expectations. You are whole and you deserve to be loved as such. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that conditional love is better than no love at all. But staying in a relationship where you feel like you're constantly being measured, judged, and criticized will only leave you feeling more alone. True love doesn't come with strings attached. It doesn't make you feel like you're unworthy or inadequate. True love reminds you of your value, lifts you up when you're down, and supports you through your journey without asking you to change who you are. When you encounter conditional love, it's a sign that the person offering it is not capable of giving you the kind of love you deserve. This is not a reflection of your worth, it's a reflection of their limitations. Letting go of someone who loves you conditionally can be painful, especially if you've invested deeply in the relationship. But staying will only prolong the hurt and prevent you from finding the love that truly honors and cherishes you. Walking away from conditional love is not a sign of weakness, it's a testament to your strength and self-respect. It's a declaration that you will not settle for anything less than love that embraces you fully. You are not someone's project, and your value is not determined by how well you meet their expectations. You are enough as you are, and you deserve to be with someone who sees that without hesitation or conditions. When you let go of conditional love, you make space for something better. You open yourself up to relationships that are built on mutual respect, trust, and acceptance. You give yourself the chance to experience love that feels safe, uplifting, and empowering. And most importantly, you reaffirm your own worth, reminding yourself that you are deserving of love in its purest and most genuine form. Do not let anyone convince you that you must change or prove yourself to be loved. Love is not earned through conditions or ultimatums. It is given freely without expectation or demand. Trust that you are worthy of this kind of love and never settle for anything less. Choose to honor yourself by walking away from anyone who cannot see your value. Your heart deserves to be held with care, your soul deserves to be cherished, and your love deserves to be met with the same purity and generosity you offer. When someone constantly tries to control you in a relationship, it's not about love or care, it's about power. Controlling behavior may start subtly, disguised as concern or guidance. They may say things like, "I'm only doing this because I know what's best for you," or "I just want to protect you." These words can feel comforting at first, but over time they create a suffocating environment where your independence and confidence begin to fade. True love doesn't need control to thrive. Love grows through trust, respect, and freedom, not through restrictions and dominance. Control often stems from insecurity. A person who feels the need to dictate your actions, your choices, or even your thoughts is often masking their own fear of losing you. Instead of addressing their insecurities, they attempt to create boundaries that trap you, ensuring you don't stray too far from their grasp. They might criticize your decisions, limit your interactions with others, or make you feel guilty for wanting things outside of the relationship. These tactics aren't love, they're manipulation. Genuine love doesn't aim to restrict, it seeks to uplift and empower. When control becomes a pattern, it chips away at your confidence. You start second-guessing your decisions, doubting your abilities, and feeling as though you can't trust your own instincts. Over time, you might even begin to believe that the control is necessary, that it's a sign of how much they care. But love doesn't thrive in environments where one person feels small or powerless. It flourishes when both individuals feel valued, respected, and capable of being their true selves. The moment you feel like you're losing yourself in the name of love is the moment to step back and evaluate what's truly happening. It's important to recognize that control is not a substitute for care. A partner who genuinely loves you will trust you to make your own choices and learn from your experiences. They won't feel the need to monitor your every move or dictate how you live your life. They'll support you, offering guidance when asked, but always respecting your autonomy. A healthy relationship is a partnership, not a dictatorship. Both individuals should feel free to grow, explore, and express themselves without fear of judgment or punishment. Control often manifests through subtle actions. They may question your friendships, making you feel guilty for spending time with others. They may criticize your appearance, framing it as helpful advice, or dictate how you should spend your time and money. These actions might not seem harmful at first, but they create a dynamic where you feel like you're constantly seeking approval. Love should never make you feel like you're walking on eggshells or that your every action needs validation. Real love provides a safe space where you can be unapologetically yourself. Walking away from someone who tries to control you is not a sign of giving up. It's a sign of reclaiming your power. It's a declaration that your voice, your choices, and your freedom matter. You deserve a partner who trusts you, who believes in your ability to navigate life, and who respects your independence. Love should be a source of strength, not a chain that binds you. When you walk away from control, you're choosing to prioritize your self-worth and your happiness over someone else's need for dominance. Leaving a controlling relationship can be challenging, especially if you've been conditioned to believe that their behavior is normal or acceptable. You might feel guilty, as though you're abandoning someone who needs you. But ask yourself, what are you sacrificing in the process? Your peace, your identity, your dreams? Love should never come at the cost of losing yourself. You are not responsible for fixing someone else's insecurities or tolerating behavior that diminishes your confidence. Your first responsibility is to yourself, to protect your well-being and honor your value. When you let go of a controlling partner, you make room for love that feels liberating instead of limiting. You give yourself the chance to be with someone who celebrates your individuality and supports your ambitions. A partner who sees your confidence as a strength, not a threat, and who trusts you to make decisions without feeling the need to interfere. This is the kind of love that allows you to grow, to explore, and to become the best version of yourself. Your confidence is a gift, and no one has the right to take it away from you. It's a reflection of your inner strength, your resilience, and your belief in yourself. Don't let anyone dim that light under the guise of love. Real love will fan the flames of your confidence, encouraging you to shine brighter. Trust yourself, value your independence, and never settle for a relationship that makes you feel small or controlled. You deserve freedom, respect, and a love that lifts you higher. Disrespect is one of the most painful forms of emotional harm, yet it can often go unnoticed until it becomes a pattern. It might start subtly, like dismissive comments, an uninterested tone, or rolling eyes during a serious conversation. Over time, it escalates, turning into blatant disregard for your feelings, your time, and your worth. The truth is, respect is the foundation of any meaningful relationship. Without it, love becomes hollow, and trust becomes fragile. The moment you notice consistent disrespect in someone's words or actions, you must recognize that staying will only diminish your self-worth. Disrespect often shows itself in the way someone communicates with you. When they interrupt, belittle, or mock your opinions, they're sending a clear message they don't value your voice. These moments can feel small at first, but they leave a lasting impact. You begin to doubt your own thoughts, silencing yourself to avoid criticism or conflict. A healthy relationship encourages open dialogue where both people feel heard and understood. If someone cannot offer you the basic courtesy of listening and valuing your words, they are not deserving of your presence. Sometimes disrespect comes in the form of actions, not words. They may consistently disregard your boundaries, cancel plans without explanation, or fail to acknowledge your efforts. Over time, these behaviors make you feel invisible, as though your feelings and needs don't matter. Respect is not something you should have to demand, it should be freely given by someone who values you. A partner who cannot respect your time, energy, or boundaries is not a partner, but a drain on your emotional well-being. In moments of disrespect, you might find yourself making excuses for their behavior. Maybe they were having a bad day, or they didn't mean it the way it came across. While everyone makes mistakes, a consistent pattern of disrespect cannot be justified. When someone repeatedly shows disregard for your feelings, it's not an accident, it's a choice. You deserve someone who chooses kindness, patience, and understanding even in moments of frustration. Excusing disrespect only allows it to continue and grow, leaving you feeling smaller with each passing day. Disrespect has a way of eroding your confidence. It seeps into your mind, making you question your worth and whether you deserve better. You might start to believe the hurtful words they say or internalize the dismissive way they treat you. Over time, you could lose sight of the incredible value you bring to the world, all because someone failed to treat you with the respect you deserve. It's important to remember that their behavior is a reflection of them, not you. Disrespect speaks to their character, not your value. Walking away from disrespect is not an act of weakness, it's an act of profound strength. It's a decision to prioritize your dignity and mental health over someone else's inability to honor you. Staying in a situation where you are disrespected only teaches the other person that their behavior is acceptable. By walking away, you set a boundary and send a clear message. You will not tolerate being treated as less than you are. This decision is not easy, but is necessary for your growth and happiness. You might feel tempted to confront their disrespect, hoping they will change. While conversations about boundaries and respect can be productive in certain relationships, they won't work with someone who doesn't want to change. Respect must come from a place of genuine care and understanding. It cannot be forced or negotiated. If someone truly values you, they will reflect on their actions and strive to do better. If they don't, no amount of explaining will make them treat you differently. Protect your heart by recognizing when it's time to stop explaining and start walking away. Disrespect often thrives on silence. The more you endure it without addressing it, the more it grows. But addressing it doesn't always mean staying to fix it. Sometimes the most powerful statement you can make is to leave. Walking away is not about punishing the other person, it's about protecting yourself. It's about choosing peace over chaos and self-love over mistreatment. You are not responsible for teaching someone how to respect you. That is a lesson they must learn on their own. When you leave behind disrespect, you open yourself to the possibility of relationships built on mutual admiration and care. You make room for people who will see your worth, honor your boundaries, and value your voice. Respectful love is freeing, uplifting, and healing. It doesn't make you question your place in someone's life. It makes you feel secure and cherished. You deserve to experience this kind of love, and it starts by refusing to settle for anything less. No one has the right to make you feel small, unworthy, or invisible. You are deserving of respect in every interaction, in every word, and in every action. Don't let someone's inability to see your value make you forget it. Walking away is not about giving up on them. It's about choosing yourself. It's a declaration that you will not accept anything less than what you deserve. Respect is non-negotiable, and your well-being is worth protecting. Trust yourself enough to walk away when someone shows you they cannot give you the respect you need.